You guys, terrible thing happened to me. I took episode number 1 to a friend of mine who is an audio engineer so that he could evaluate how it sounded to make sure it sounded good. And he said my voice was very sibyllistic. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that means. And he said, your S is very harsh. And I said, I wonder if it's because I have this small chip in the front bottom tooth. And he said, yeah, that's probably it. So long story short, I went to the dentist to get it filled in, but while he was in there, he found a bunch of other stuff wrong with me. So now I have 2 teeth pulled on this side with the temporary thing going on. So now my speech pattern is terribly interrupted. I'm in pain. I'm out all of this money just so that you guys don't have to listen to my harsh and sibyllistic S. You're welcome. All right, moving on. I'm over it. Roll that intro. Thanks for joining us today at Rejuvenation, the Eclectic Skin Prescriptions podcast, where we talk about all things anti-aging, skincare, and skin health. We'll be going over medical aesthetic procedures, tips and techniques, the hot new treatments and technologies. So if you're a medical aesthetic professional or someone interested in learning or receiving these procedures, then you've come to the right place, because we're here to Rejuvenation. Today's episode is sponsored by Aesthetic Skin Institute, the #1 choice in medical aesthetic training and certification since 1997. And you can check out their course schedule by visiting their website at www.esiw.com. All right, guys. Hi, I'm Tammy Sipniewski, and today we'll be discussing a procedure called microneedling, or collagen induction therapy. Now, today's process is derived from a technique that was developed back in the 1990s, and that was subcision. This is where a doctor would take a hypodermic needle and work it under the skin of an acne scar, sort of like raking it back and forth while it's inserted into the dermis. And what this would do is create a wound. Now, when the body is wounded, that wound sends out a distress signal saying, hey, come help us. You know who fell again like an idiot, and we need to heal her up. So the body, in response to the wound, will drive a lot of attention to that area. It will fill that wound with granulation tissue, and that consists of connective tissue and newly formed capillaries. With the formation of the new capillaries, that will bring extra nutrients to that area to ensure the connective tissue will thrive. So as the wound begins to heal, the body wants to reorganize that area to make sure that the wound closes and it brings the healing to maturation. The body's going to drive all good things in there to aid in the healing process and in the remodeling, like growth factors, and tensile strength, collagen fibers, to make sure that that new tissue is going to anchor itself to the basement membrane. So by creating that intentional wound under the acne scar, the body's response will be to remodel that area and fill in those scars with new collagen to reduce the depth of the scar. Now, the tool that we use today is very different than that, but it will still promote that same remodeling process. So the device itself looks like a thick pen, and the head is filled with little needles that will be stamping, using a stamping action, and drive those little needles into your skin, creating microchannels. So just like the process of subcision, we're still creating an intentional wound with these microchannels in the dermis. So this will propel the body to begin the healing process to where that microneedling device was used. Once again, driving growth factors to that area, new collagen growth, and remodeling. Now that's benefit number 1. Benefit number 2 is that whatever product you're applying while you're conducting the microneedling session will be driven down into those channels. And this will increase the product's efficacy, being that it's driven deeper into the dermis. Okay, so Who is microneedling good for? Anyone looking for skin rejuvenation, because the collagen growth will help to firm and lift sagging skin. People with acne scarring, I mean, this would greatly benefit you. Because having those deep pock marks in your face can just ruin your self-esteem, and that's no way to start your journey into adulthood. I've seen it myself, because when I was in high school, it was the 80s, so there was no subcision. And many a girl has cried on this shoulder about how she hates the way she looks because of the scarring. It gives them insecurities, and it really can stifle someone's early potential, especially early on in the teenage years. No one should have to suffer like that now, because it can be addressed with this simple procedure. People that have melasma or hyperpigmentation, it's beneficial for that. Also stretch marks. But listen, stretch marks, you may only see a very minimal improvement. If you had a slight weight loss of 10 or 15 pounds, this would be great. But if you've lost like 50 or 100 or more, I mean, that's different. You'll have to address that skin with surgery. There's no way to fix that, because the tissue is just damaged from the deepest layers. You know, it's like having an old rubber band that's lost its elasticity and been stretched out. You can't fix that. Skin is very similar. It just won't snap back into shape after it's been stretched out. Man, it's so hard to speak with this thing in my mouth. Oh, God. And you guys, I'm in so much pain. I want to pop a Vicodin so bad. I have to wait till I'm done with this, though. Okay, so let's go over protocols. You should be selling these in packages just like you would sell your microdermabrasions or your peels. And we suggest that 3 to 5 treatments spread over 2 to 4 weeks is best. So if you're addressing someone's acne scarring, realistically within 5 sessions, that patient could expect to see a reduction of that scar depth by 50% or better. That's huge. That's a lot. So anyone with acne scarring should be getting this. Anyone looking to decrease wrinkles, because it works the same way in reducing wrinkle depth. So reducing the depth of your wrinkles by 50% makes a huge difference. That healing process is just going to firm and lift the skin. So skin rejuvenation, this works great for as well. Now, hyperpigmentation is a little different to measure, and this is where I suggest that you gather your own data by taking some before and after pictures of your own clients, of course with their permission. I just want to segue for a second here and talk a little bit about sales and marketing. So if someone calls you and they're interested in finding out about this process or some of the other treatments that you offer, the best thing for you to do is to get their mobile number. So you speak to them about all of the great benefits of this procedure, lay out your whole spiel, and then say, I would like to send you a quick text of some before and after photos of some of the results I was able to achieve for another one of my clients. Of course, they're going to want to see evidence, so you'll get that number. And having that mobile number is the most beneficial way to market to people today. Over 90% of text messages get read as opposed to emails or calling someone's landline that they don't have to pick up your call. They don't have to read your email, but if you shoot them a quick text, hi, I just wanted to reach out to let you know that we're running a special this month. Purchase a series of glycolic acid washes, and you'll receive a free antioxidant infusion cream or something to that effect. Just stay in touch with them and keep you fresh in their minds. The advertising landscape has changed dramatically with social media and all these tools that you can utilize for free. There doesn't need to be a huge advertising budget. There just needs to be a plan of action and momentum. You can be unstoppable. Of course, this is more for someone who's a small business owner, someone who may be a one-person show or may only have just a few people on staff. If you're working at a larger practice or a big medical spa, they probably already have their own marketing strategy in place. Okay, so speaking of mobile numbers, it's a good idea to text someone who is coming in for their first session a protocol sheet. Hi, on the day that you're getting your microneedling session, it would be best if you don't wear foundation, face powder, or blush. It will also let them know what to expect and how to care for their skin post-procedure, which of course you'll reiterate once they're in, but it just lets them know what to expect. Plus, this will make your prep a whole lot easier. You don't want someone coming in looking like they have studio makeup on. Speaking of the prep, the face must be thoroughly cleansed and free of any debris or particles that could be introduced through the needle penetration. The best product for the job is the Skin Brightening Tonic, and that's just going to get all the gunk and the junk and the dirt and the oil and the sebum and everything off their skin. It has natural astringents and antimicrobials in there, so it's a great product for this. After that's done, on goes the numbing agent. Gotta go numb. Listen, I've seen men with sleeves of tattoos near tears during microneedling. Well, men are babies anyway. They can't handle pain. Seriously, listen, hey. And they know it. You know it, men. If we're up to men to have babies, there would be no population problem. Seriously. Okay, so back to where I was. Where was I? Oh, numbing. Okay. Apply the numbing agent, allow that to absorb. Now you're good to go. And today we're talking about microneedling. We're not going to do PRP this podcast. We'll do that in one, I think, a few episodes away. And that's the one where Anne-Marie is going to join me to be a co-host with me. So that one should be very exciting. Okay, so what's the best product to use topically in conjunction with this procedure? We've gotten so many calls and emails from clients saying how they absolutely love the Regenerate Stem Cell Gel or the Collagen Growth Factor Serum. And that's because they have this really nice, slick glide, which is really something that you want when you're working the needles into the skin. So apply one of those to the section that you're working on. And as I said earlier, it's a controlled device, so you'll be able to get different puncture depths for different areas. So in the cheek and the chin, those will be getting the longest puncture depths, between 0.5 and 1 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter for the cheekbones, anywhere from 0.5 to 1/4 millimeter on the forehead, and 1/4 millimeter on the nose. And you'll work those needles into the face until you see that pinpoint bleeding. Then it's time to move on to the next section until you've completed the whole entire face. Okay, so as I mentioned before, anything that you're applying topically will be driven... I gotta go see what that was. Please hold. Something broke. Apparently, somebody just dropped someone's order. Hope it wasn't yours. Okay, so as I mentioned before, anything being applied topically is going to be driven deep within the skin, making that product more efficacious. So when you're applying the Collagen Growth Factor Serum, you'll be introducing all of those great ingredients deep into the dermis. And don't forget, the Collagen Growth Factor Serum has 9 different active ingredients. And listen, this stuff is great to use on a daily basis as well in your skincare regimen. But when introduced with microneedling, it's even way, way better. Ingredients like APT GPF, which contains the amino acid hydroxyproline. Now that's the building block to collagen. So as you use this ingredient, it's going to make your skin grow its own collagen at a faster rate. We also have liposomal genistein, which grows collagen 4, and that's integral in the basement membrane or the stratum basal to increase skin's thickness starting from deep within the dermis. Now this is going to bind to estrogen receptors, which then activate collagen synthesis. It also inhibits tyrosinase kinases, and that is the principal transcription factor in the breakdown of collagen. So not only are you regrowing collagen and elastin, but you're able to reverse some of the key components in the aging process. There's also TAUT, which is T-A-U-T, which stands for some ridiculously long name that I can't even pronounce, especially with this stuff going on in my mouth. So we'll just call it TAUT. And that's a 3-amino acid tripeptide aimed at lifting sagging skin. It stimulates the growth of hyaluron, proteoglycans, Decarin and Lumican. Now, these support the formation of new collagen fibrils, and it also increases their quality and strength, giving you a visible remodeling effect. As a matter of fact, this particular ingredient is marketed as a needle-free hyaluronic booster. There's also superoxide C, and this ingredient grows collagen 1 and hyaluronic acid. It also battles a pro-inflammatory cytokine, which is involved in what they call inflammaging. And like I said, just a few of the 9 different ingredients that we have in the collagen growth factor serum. So this product is crazy beneficial. I suggest factoring in the cost of a retail size bottle of this. This way you can use it on them while they're in session. They get to take it home with them, to use it in their post-care, and also begin to incorporate it into their daily skincare regimen. And this is going to maximize the results that they're achieving with your in-office sessions. Okay, so now you're done. Follow with your post-procedure protocol. Now, some people apply an ice pack, depending on the severity of the erythema and the bleeding, but really the bleeding should subside in just a few minutes. Also, the Aesthetic Skin Institute hyaluronic acid serum works really well, and that's really good to apply for the next few days post-procedure. They can also apply some cortisone cream as well. I think it's best to instruct them to not apply makeup for at least a few days, at least. Now, I would say eye makeup is okay, but definitely no foundation or face powder or blush. I've heard people recommend to not apply makeup for a whole week or 2. I mean, that's a long time. That's hardcore. I don't think people would even do that. I've also seen people say the next day, you're good. You can apply your makeup the next day. And I don't think that's nearly long enough. I think there needs to be a happy medium in there. So I think by saying 3 to 4 days, and of course that depends on this particular person's healing factor. If someone is slower to heal, then definitely they need to wait longer before applying their makeup. I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Obviously, stay out of the sun as much as possible. Wear your sunblock, try like hell to not even be exposed, not even a little bit. I would even get one of those umbrellas. You know, the ones that are geared towards UVA, UVB blockage. It's really not meant for rainfall. So get yourself an umbrella, walk around with it, and listen, don't worry if people stare at you, okay? You paid a lot of money to get something like this done. It's your face. Protect it. Don't care what people think. So nothing on the face for a few days, and that would include even their regular skincare products. They only should be applying the post products for the 3 and 4 days that they're also not wearing their makeup. And definitely nothing too acidic for a few weeks following that. So if someone is getting a series of 3 to 5 sessions and they're spreading that out over 2 to 4 weeks, they should not be wearing anything that's acidic at all. So no applying the Alpha Firming face and neck cream for at least a month post-session, because that stuff is crazy acidic. It's like 12% on buffered glycolic acid. Listen, that stuff is great. It's really great. And it's good if you have a special occasion that you're going to. Apply it the night before. And when you wake up in the morning, your face is just bright and tight and beautiful. I save that stuff for special occasions when I want to look extra special young, like weddings or reunions. You know, especially everyone's sizing you up when they know you own a skincare company. You know, they really put you under a microscope to see how your skin is looking. Then after that long, uncomfortable, awkward stare, then they're like, oh yeah, you do have nice skin. And then you get hit with a bunch of questions. So what do you think of this? What is Botox really safe? What do you know about PRP? What about that stuff on TV with the one melon is spinning and it doesn't rot, the other melon's rotting, but this melon doesn't rot? I'm like, well, first of all, You have a face, not a melon. And what's good for that melon doesn't necessarily translate into what's going to be good for the human skin. So no offense to Cindy Crawford and her French doctor, but that's not the only thing that's keeping her looking good. Genetics play a huge role in the aging process. We all know that. I mean, look at me. I've been smoking for 40 years. I drink. I used to do all kinds of bad stuff in my 20s, and I should be dead. And instead, I look like this. It's because of genetics and the products. I've been using these for years and years, and wearing sunblock. That's the key. But anyway, so for 25 years, she's probably been getting facials, eating all organic and natural foods that are probably prepared by a private chef. She's probably surrounded by people that pamper her all day. She's not a normal woman that works a 9-to-5 job, or, maybe even 2 jobs. And you just can't afford all the stuff that she can afford. Okay, so to show a before and after photo of Miss Crawford 20 years apart, to me, it's just really disingenuous. Okay, seriously. And I'm sure if you saw her in real life without her makeup on, she probably doesn't look as good as her after picture. You can only be the best version of you. Don't try to be somebody else. Okay, so talk about getting hit with questions. Whenever I'm on vacation now and somebody asks me what I do for a living, now I just tell them, I'm a librarian. You'll see how fast they become disinterested in you. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you how many people I've told that I have a skincare company. They're pulling up their shirt. Hey, can you look at this? What do you think of this? And I'm like, please put that thing away. I don't know. Maybe it was your twin at one point, but I don't really. If you're that concerned about it, go seek a medical opinion, and not mine, because I'm not a doctor. What's with people? Why? Okay, now the last thing I would like to discuss, and I hope it'll be brief because my mouth is killing me, and this is something that I get asked frequently. What do you think of at-home microneedling, or what they call dermarolling? Is that beneficial? Okay, well, I have 2 different schools of thought here, so please bear with me. I would not suggest this. There are just too many ways to introduce bacteria and harmful things into your skin that can cause a major infection. Really, you're running a very high risk if you're not in a clean environment and using sterile equipment, especially if you have active acne. And that's where you have pimples or cysts that are raw and open and red on your face, because that's usually an indication that you have an infection going on in that area. And you don't want to be putting the needles into that and then you're using that and working it on to the rest of your face. Okay? So for me, I would say that would be a hard no. Stay the hell away from that cheap little plastic thing. But listen, I know people are going to do it anyway, and mainly because they can't afford to get the in-office procedures, so they look for alternate methods. Some of you may be listening here, so I'm just going to lay out the rules for you because I want those people who are trying to DIY microneedling to be safe. Okay, so if you're one of my clients, you can peace out. You're done now. Now I'm speaking directly to you, the at-home derma roller, okay? It's important that you keep that derma roller sanitary, and I don't recommend keeping it in your bathroom because to me, bathrooms just scream filth and bacteria. Yuck. So I would recommend keeping your derma roller in its original plastic container, in a plastic bag, stored in your dresser drawer, far away from the petri dish that is your bathroom. And prior to using it, dump it and dunk it and soak it in isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Make sure you get the whole thing, get it all. Get it all. And once you've cleaned it and you're going to use it, because you should use it after you use it, and you should clean it again before you use it. So let's say you're going to use it for the first time, and now you've sterilized it, and then you hear someone texting you. Don't put it down anywhere, because the minute that it touches whatever, now you've recontaminated that thing, okay? Make sure you keep it, after you sterilize it, keep it sterilized. Same thing with you. You're going to prep your face, get everything off your face. No blush, no powder, no foundation. There should be a hint of nothing on your face, okay? Because if you're pushing that into your face, whatever's on there is getting pushed deep into your skin, okay? So what I want you to do is just a few simple strokes on each section. So 5 or 6 strokes up and down. Move on to the next section. It's so hard to talk. It's so hard. So you roll it up and down on each section. But listen, you're not going to get that same bleeding that you would have with an in-office treatment. So don't feel like you have to push the needles into your face so that blood comes out, okay? You're not going to get that with the at-home Dermaroller, so don't even try it. Also, don't be doing your eyelids, okay? Stay away from your eyebrows, your eyelids. Don't get anywhere too close to your eyes. The skin that's around your eyes is the absolute thinnest skin that's on your body. So be very, very careful with that delicate area. Okay, just keep the Dermaroller far, far from that area. Now, as I said, this is very different than the in-office procedures. The in-office procedures, the needles are being stamped into your face. Okay, so it's going to create a nice, straight, cylindrical channel. When you're using that Dermaroller, the needles are going to go into your skin, but as they roll, they're going to, pull up and pull down. So instead of having a straight channel, you're creating more of like a V shape that really can damage your skin and tear at it. So like I said, very small, light strokes, nothing too heavy. Now you're going to follow the same protocols as the post-care for the in-office treatments. No makeup for a few days, wear your sunblock, and very important, okay? You can't have active acne. I must reiterate it. No active acne on your face while you're doing this. And the reason that I want to reiterate that is because I have a sneaking suspicion it's mostly going to be teenage girls with acne who are attempting to do this. So no doing this stuff on the big day of the big dance, girls. Seriously, it never works out well. And don't let other people use your Dermaroller. Don't even tell anyone that you have a Dermaroller, because if they know you have it, they're going to run right over to your house to try it out on them. And you don't want to contaminate your Dermaroller with their nasty germs. I know you're friends, but there are certain things you shouldn't share, like a Dermaroller, like deodorant. I think that's about it. Is there anything else I'm trying to scare these girls with? I think that's it. So listen, once again, thank you very much for joining us today here at Rejuvenation. I'm Tammy Sapnewski, and don't forget to listen to this channel a few times a week. We'll be dropping content at least 2 times a week. So I thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy. Roll that outro.
You've been listening to Rejuvenation, the Eclectic Skin Prescriptions podcast.
I don't like the way this
We're
sounds.
a private label medical cosmeceutical. For more information on the products discussed in today's podcast,
I have to do this again.
Please call our headquarters at 954-494-2478.
You can text that number as well.
Don't forget to mention that you're a citizen of the nation to receive a free gift with your first order.
It's a good gift.
Next time, citizens, that's a wrap.
See you next time.